Welcome to Tush Twins, heard exclusively on MalcolmPresents.com, a streaming platform heard around the world and even in Brooklyn. Anyway, I'm Malcolm Berman, your co-host with
Oh, Brooklyn in
that,
my
that's
head.
that's a redhead, and you can call her
That's the
whatever you
redhead.
want. And the
The
down below is
Rusty
Maxine.
Paula,
Rusty Paula
Maxine,
Rose,
Faith
redhead,
Rose, Rose Faith.
Rust-Oleum. We've gone through this. I just
Yeah,
don't know
I'm,
why Phil
I'm
did that,
She
but he
she has
called
many. She has to go with her name. She has many different personalities.
the many shades of Paula.
Rusty Paula.
Many shades of Rusty.
But we were talking
Um,
just before we got on the air, since you live in Jersey and you had no heat
No,
last night,
it
no,
was the
that's
night
why.
before, it's Monday night. It
Monday night.
was horrible. For some reason, our little community here, only 875 people had no electricity. It went out at 11:40
And
because
they
I
didn't
was,
say anything. I mean,
they
did
don't, they didn't tell us why,
you
nothing. It
reported it?
went
They're
out.
it's
Yeah, of
supposed
course,
to.
I reported it.
Who,
Everyone in the
who's your
community,
electric people? I get it.
JCP now.
Just like what the F, guys?
Mm.
They're required actually to report. So
So
they're
I
derelict
reported
in their
it,
duty, like everything
and
else in
then
this world.
they didn't tell us what happened. So we have no heat. We don't have a generator,
Oh, I
but
know
we
what it,
have a
I know. I know.
dog.
No, I know what
What?
it was.
What?
Drones.
Drones. But
Drones.
years ago, when I lived
Drones.
in Manhattan, and I lived on the fourth floor or the third floor of a four-floor walk-up, uh, and sometimes the heat didn't go all the way up
Hmm.
my pipes, but I had a fireplace,
Mm-hmm.
and
A real one?
excuse me,
A real
a real
fireplace?
wood-burning
That
fireplace.
that you
Yeah, there were plenty of them in the city with old buildings. Some of
And,
so
the new
did
ones
you
have
yeah,
fireplaces too.
and
did you
and
put
and and what I learned how to drink is a Southern Comfort.
well, I would have liked a hot toddy.
No, no, Southern Comfort. You take a shot of that, it goes down to the stomach, and it's like lighting a
Yeah.
furnace.
It's
Yeah.
like put a match to your mouth and go.
And not your mouth,
No.
but the rest of you. All of a sudden, the heat comes up.
I like Irish coffee or stuff like you don't like Irish coffee either, Paul?
I love Irish
So
coffee.
what's a hot toddy? Why don't you like it? Maybe I don't like it. I just like to
The
I like
reason
to
Like
why
say
the
the
I
word.
name.
don't like, there's a reason. Because I love bourbon. Bourbon's my favorite liquor. My very good brown liquor. I love it. And to put it in hot water and lemon, it's gross. It ruins the bourbon. It's not tasty. And honey, you
So
ruin bourbon by putting in this strecky stuff. You put in 2 ounces of bourbon. There is no, unless you use bad bourbon, and even bad bourbon tastes terrible in hot water. It's 2 ounces of bourbon, 2 tablespoons of honey, 1 tablespoon of fresh lemon juice, and a cinnamon stick. That's one way.
so
But
what's wrong with
here,
that?
you in a small pan, you simmer a third cup of hot water.
You don't like the hot water part.
The hot water ruins, and the honey ruins the bourbon. It ruins my bourbon. Don't do that. Drink a hot coffee,
No.
drink
An
Mexican
Irish
coffee,
coffee, Mexican
drink an
coffee.
Irish coffee.
What's in Mex what's in, so far we're still okay with Ireland. Mexico. What's in Mexican coffee?
Mexican coffee could be two ways.
Uh,
One, you're talking to an ex-bartender.
I know. I'm saying this is good.
Okay.
We fell on this out of nowhere. It's the toddies. She doesn't. I just like saying the word toddy.
Toddy,
I, I,
toddy. I don't like
Toddy.
that.
I like saying
Toddy.
a hot toddy.
A hot
Hot.
toddy because
Oh,
you're a
excuse
dirty
me.
old
I'm
man,
a
man.
Right.
toddy.
Yeah.
Excuse me, could you do that again?
As opposed
A
to
toddy.
Oh,
titty, titty toddy.
titty toddy.
Um,
I
hey,
do like Mexican coffee. You could do it two
Can
ways.
I call you
Coffee.
a well-developed Paula?
Yes, I'm very well developed mentally.
Oh yeah, also you used to be
Mentally, I'm developed very well.
okay, this is off the rails. Go. What's next?
I say my mind. I'm very well.
Oh,
right.
so what's Mexican coffee?
Mexican, you could put Kahlua.
I like Kahlua.
and whipped coffee and whipped cream. But now they put in, which to me doesn't taste right. It's Kahlua, tequila,
Tequila.
and whipped cream. The tequila and the
No,
Kahlua with the whipped
no,
cream doesn't do it for me. I
no.
just put plain old fashioned Kahlua.
Yeah,
Or
Kahlua,
you could put Tia Maria, or you could put in any coffee liqueur.
or Ave Maria. Does that?
Oh, Ave
I
Maria.
don't know.
Well, my drink
Tia
now, my
Maria.
drink now is scotch on the rocks.
But you
Well,
always like
that's what I
scotch.
drink. I love scotch with one rock or scotch. I love Glenlivet 21, with one ice cube in it. One.
Now I put a lot of ice
Or
cubes in, it becomes diluted, and people who and I do
no, you ruin it.
the single malt liquor, and people who are drinkers say, "What? You're doing what? You're ruining the taste of it."
You're ruining the taste of it, definitely. What you should do for a scotch, a really good single
Yeah,
malt like Glenlivet, Glenfiddich, Macallan,
yeah,
Hobart, Tasker, I know more.
yeah. That,
So what you
Mm,
do is you take it straight up with 1 teaspoon or tablespoon of water put into it
hmm.
to wake up the bouquet.
Well,
It's
Wake up the
yummy.
bouquet.
well, the single malt liquors, it's easy for my son to buy me Father's Day presents, birthday presents, or Christmas presents.
Well,
They just buy me a bottle of scotch.
Well, when you come back to New York and come to my bar downstairs,
Okay,
I will show you a selection of beautiful scotches, single
okay.
malt scotches. I have everything from a 30-year-old Macallan, not the
30-year
25, but
old? Wow.
30. I have 30, yes,
I'm looking. Maybe I'll let this take with your thing, just in one rock, or
just
maybe
one.
not.
Oh
Maybe
my God,
straight sipping it.
so good. Because you need one rock and it just slowly melts in it. But the big rock, not the
Yeah,
small ones.
and then the
One
bouquet
giant
comes
rock
out.
and just it takes a long time to melt in.
well, I tasted four different scotches when I was in
Mm-hmm.
Edinburgh
Yummy.
because I was on
Oh,
the
Yeah,
Edinburgh
that's Scotch whiskey. There's a difference.
whiskey. It's called the Short Barrel Ride, and it's a
Okay.
ride that you like in Disney World. You
Yeah.
go through and you're singing and they're showing whiskey and they have a guy behind you and he's going to the different regions and this is this whiskey, this is this whiskey. And then they have a room which is the largest collection of whiskey in the world. And they have
Mm,
bottles of scotch from like hundreds of years ago. And it's like hermetically sealed in these things. And these people who are scotch drinkers, it's like they're in Nirvana. It's like I've never
I would
seen
love it. I
these
love
people. I
Scotch.
mean, we have to go to Edinburgh. Got to go on the ride.
I want to do
It's a
that, and
Disney
I
ride.
want to go to play golf at St. Andrews.
Uh, Good luck to you on that. I'll watch, but because you
I
might
would
run
love
into
to.
somebody there unless they don't allow felons in the country. I
no,
They
don't
no,
know.
shouldn't.
but doesn't he have his? Does he still have his own golf course there?
He used to. I don't know if he still does.
Because I remember years ago they were having a problem with him and his neighbors.
Mhm.
Really?
Really?
I
That's
wouldn't.
very surprising. But
Yeah.
maybe he'll build a golf course in the rubble in Palestine.
Well,
God.
that's what he's doing. As a matter of fact, you should put in for your
No politics.
on the 16th hole. You can get
Yeah,
a house
the
there.
only
No
hole,
politics.
the only hole that I know is the asshole. But anyway,
No
aside,
politics.
no politics.
No
So,
politics.
so I don't
Uh,
know. We got how we got
Felon,
into booze.
felon,
I mean, you're
felon.
the expert on booze
Okay.
and on
Now, if you
pot.
want an Irish coffee,
Oh,
Yeah.
you have to go to Ireland.
okay. I've been to Ireland and I did have an Irish
The
coffee there
An Irish coffee, there
in
are
Dublin.
two. Now you have two Irish whiskeys that
An
are
Irish
very
whiskey,
famous.
yeah.
Bushmills and what's the other one? There's Bushmills and Irish whiskey. Let me look it up. I know Bushmills. Bushmills is is English, Irish, and the other one. Let's look it up. Irish whiskey. Irish whiskey.
Is
I don't know. They
I'll
Bailey's?
just
tell you
they just
whiskey.
poured it.
Irish
Okay.
whiskey brands. Here you
If
go. Jameson's. Now,
Jameson.
Jameson's,
Jameson's,
right.
Bushmills is the I think, don't get me, I'm not feeling it, but I'm not sure, but I know one is Irish and it's Northern Ireland and the other one's, and I think Jameson is Southern Ireland.
Oh,
So it's like the English versus
the
the
English versus the
versus the
So,
Irish.
Irish
Yeah.
back
so it's a
then.
Protestant versus the Catholics?
Versus
Mhm.
Catholics, yes.
Well, they
That's not
also
anymore. Now they all together. It doesn't make a difference. We're all
so
Oh,
so I went on
no
now.
drinking at
the
a pub.
I pubs are I went to the oldest pub in Ireland in Dublin. But
Wow.
uh yeah, well, I did the whiskey the Scotch tour, it's Scotch
Yeah.
in Edinburgh, but then I did the Guinness tour in Dublin.
I don't
So
like Guinness.
me, who do not drink, but they give you fresh Guinness, like
It's different in Europe.
oh, and I don't, you know me, I'm not a drink person, and it was
It
very
tastes
good.
completely
And then
different when it's poured on the
and
thing.
they did a
And it's,
great job of, the history of it, and
Hmm.
and it
well,
was good. And then you go up to the top, and they give you, they give you beer tasting, and then upstairs they give you like a giant one.
yeah.
I
Well,
couldn't
I
drink.
find that a major problem, especially with people who drink moderately and really don't know the alcohol. They buy very inexpensive alcohol or wine,
Yeah,
and they
I
say,
don't.
"Why do you like this?" Because what they
Mhm.
do is
they don't understand
they
it.
don't understand it because they don't have the taste. And I
If
find
they
out
had the taste and they tried it, you're right, Malcolm, 100%. If they tried the good stuff, they would never go back to that
right,
crap.
and when I find out, especially with wine, uh, you don't drink wine, you sip it. If
Of
you have
course.
good
Oh,
wine,
hold it.
Excuse me,
yeah.
excuse
Now,
me.
I had a friend.
Can you spell lush?
Yeah.
Lush.
L-U-S-H.
Now, I had a friend who had a wine cellar.
Lush.
L-U-S-H.
Lush.
Yeah. I had a friend who had a wine cellar, so wherever we
Yeah.
went, he brought his own bottle of wine. Of
Oh
course, a
yeah.
bottle of wine was like $300-400 a bottle. But
Oh, wow.
he wasn't Jewish, but
I have a lot.
having wine with him is like going to a Passover dinner. You can
Oh yeah.
starve before you ate because he would uncork the wine to let it breathe.
Yes, you do. And
And and then and
before
then
you come to the house, I would
yeah, and
consider
then he
that
would pour the wine
in a
and
decanter,
yeah, and then he pour and then when he poured it in the glass, he used to twirl it around to see the how it
the
would
leg, the
I forget
legs
the
of the
words.
wine.
Yeah.
The legs of the wine.
And then he'd sniff it.
Enjoy conversations, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't
Yeah.
really drink. I don't really. I do
And
care
here's
that
the,
I do care if the wine is good though, because the
I only
crappy
drink
wine
wine
is
as
crappy
a
wine,
happy
and I
medium.
know
A
when I go
happy
to your
wine
house, it's good wine, and then
always.
we finished that
You sure you don't want to
I
move
have
the
here?
bottles.
crate that Den sent me that was really good. I mean, I don't know what the latest one is, but yeah.
Rusty, you want to move here so we can go out to dinner in your house?
Okay, come over.
Move there so you can go out to dinner at her house.
Yeah.
No, too many fires. Come here. Come visit.
Yeah, yeah,
I
you got to come
we
to New
have.
York.
I'm a Bordeaux drinker. I love Bordeaux. It's a
Oh,
heavy wine. It's very. I was in Bordeaux for a week, a couple about five just before COVID.
COVID.
Yes, and I brought back 3 cases of wine.
Oh,
Just one bottle, my Chateau Margaux, which is my favorite wine
Chateau
in
That's
the
me.
Margaux.
world.
I'm Chateau Margaux.
Chateau Margaux. And it's that bottle was
Yeah.
$595 just for that one bottle.
How long
And
ago?
that's cheap.
It's too,
That was,
but
but it was
before COVID.
2012 bottle. It was before about 2019,
Uh-huh.
2018. And then when we drank it this past year, last year for my birthday, when I turned 70, it was aged, but not enough. It needed to sit for a few more years, but oh my God.
Did you tilt it? Do you have did you store it the right way where you
We,
tilt it down so
yes, we
Oh,
have
are you
so
kidding?
the cork doesn't get
Are
dry?
you kidding? They're set up
now
for
here's the thing. Now we're talking about wine. We're going off for I am a
that.
let me tell you something. I think those corks are stupid. They should go with a twist top. And I'm serious
Well,
because they last longer, they will not go bad. And that's what Italy is doing now.
Really?
Chile, all the new age wines and new world wines, they're all doing the
Twist
twist
ups?
cap. It's the best thing. Even a lot of people in France are starting to do it. Not
Really?
this yes. They're
I don't
thinking of doing
believe the
it.
French would do that. I don't
They
know.
don't want to, but there are a couple of people that are just saying
There's a
it
couple of people
saves
in
wine,
France who think it's okay.
couple of vineyards, but
A couple of
truthfully,
vineyards.
it will last, the wines will last longer because there is corks shrink, especially if you're not tilting it. You're right.
Yeah.
I have my
Yeah, a
cases.
lot of things shrink if you're not tilting it, right, Matt?
I
Excuse me?
tilt my husband every night.
Excuse,
Are you shrinking or are you just not tilting it? What's
I
going
just
on?
I'm not tilting it right. The only thing shrinking is my height.
And the only thing shrinking is your height.
Yeah,
we
Everything
all
else,
are.
everything else is okay.
I've told the story before. I had orthoscopic surgery, a torn meniscus about, I know, 6, 7 years
Yeah.
ago. And before the surgery, the nurse lays you down on the table and measures you. And she said, Mr. Berman, you're 5'10". And I say, time. I'm just a shade under 6 foot. And when I was 18, 19, I used to stretch. I used to be like 5'11" and 9/8, 9/10.
Right.
So I
But not
said, no, no,
anymore.
you let me do it again. And let's lays me down on the table again. She says, Mr. Berman, you used to be
No,
five
we all
five
shrink. I
eleven.
used to be 5'8.5". I'm now 7.5,
No.
5 and 7.5 inches.
Now I go with when my sons come over, who's one's going to be 30, the other's 28. They're a head taller than me, and they're only about 6'1", 6'6" and a half. So I went
Even
down a good
Guinness
three
is six
inches.
feet.
But thank God
Guinness
that's the only thing that went down.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear there's not shrinkage.
Well,
Unless you go in cold water.
unless you're in the water, you
Right.
know.
I don't swim in cold
Oh,
water anymore.
The famous Seinfeld
I
episode, right?
know. It was
George,
cold.
George, it was cold. It wasn't me. It was
Right.
cold. Show about nothing. I gotta
Yeah.
tell you, we're competing with them.
We had a
Show
show
about
about that.
nothing.
What,
It's about nothing.
It's a show about nothing.
But the corks, if it's not
The core, back to the
right,
corks.
back to corks, I had a very good bottle of wine from Iran. It was
I
a like
ran.
yeah, they have some really good. This is years ago. And for
I
my
would.
cousin, no, this is years ago. I was given to as a gift and I brought it home. They said I could pick any bottle I want from a Muse. And they said that I think it was one of the countries there. And it was on the wine list for over $1,000. So I picked the most expensive bottle I could find. Well, little did I know, I opened it up. The wine shrunk because cork wasn't good, and it tasted worse than vinegar.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I had to go glum, 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 glum. I had to
that's
dump it out.
threw it
that's the
out.
problem.
Yeah,
Well,
you can't drink it. It's called corkage. And if you have corkage, usually return it.
Yeah, well,
corkage.
you have to know where you're buying the wine from
Yes.
and who had it before.
Well, they have it where I live now in the wine cellar, they have an MRI and they have all collections, one of the best collections of the best wines in the world, like Latour's.
Mm.
And they check before they bring them up or
How
anything,
do
they
they
have to
check it?
check it. They
How
could
do they?
check and see if the cork if it shrunk the amount or how much the cork shrunk or if it's still good.
Why? I mean, do they have a device that they can see
Yeah, it's
in?
an MRI. Yeah,
An MRI, right? Wow.
yes, there's only two in the
When you said
country. There's
MRI, you
one,
meant it.
I meant it's an MRI. They have one there by us and one in San Francisco.
Huh.
It's in Napa Valley, the Napa.
Napa, okay, yeah, I haven't heard of
Yeah.
that before.
Yes,
Interesting.
yeah, it's
But then
unbelievable.
again, I can't afford those wines anyway. What's interesting, I found like we use for a house wine now, a wine called Josh,
Yeah, that's
What?
wonderful wine for drinking
JOSH, which is
now,
only about 12 to 15 dollars a
$14.
bottle,
Hmm.
Isn't that
and
your
it's a
It's
great
son?
Josh is
wine,
excellent.
and it's
Isn't
named after my son,
it's that name that your son? There you go.
Josh.
Yeah, it's an
Named after
excellent
my
wine for
nephew.
that price range.
Yeah,
You keep it open.
I mean, for an everyday wine versus,
But
for an
every day,
occasion.
and there's another one that I love. It's called Parata.
Yeah.
It's from Italy. It's from Sicily. Twist cap,
Huh?
I like
unreal.
twist cap. I like twist
I
cap.
love it. I think twist cap is the way to go, and they should be doing it because wines will last forever.
Forever. But I won't last
Really?
forever. I don't
Hmm.
Wow.
think. But
Well, but this will.
you were speaking about Bordeaux. I remember in before I came to Los Angeles and I was living in New York. Uh, we would do. I was into Bordeaux, and
Hmm.
basically a Bordeaux is, if I'm thinking correctly, it's sort of a red wine which has a very light
Yeah.
taste.
No, it's heavier
It's
taste. You're
heavy.
thinking Burgundies are lighter taste.
A Burgundy. Maybe I'm thinking Burgundy, but it
Burgundy.
went well with steak.
What's the light,
Yeah.
which lighter wines?
The lighter wines is from the New World wines, which I love, is from Chile.
Which
South Africa has some decent ones. Australia, the white wines are better than the red wines. The red wines suck for me.
But I
Aus
remember when I was into
Aussies?
the
Aussies
red
only make good white wine?
Their Sauvignon Blanc
Sauvignon
is
Blanc.
the best. That's the only one
Aus
I'll drink. I love Sauvignon
Australia?
Blanc. Australia. Liquid
The
light.
Aussies, mates?
You know,
Hey,
Aussies make liquid light. Oh my
Liquid
God.
light.
It's called liquid light. It's they have Sauvignon Blanc or Chardonnay, and it's excellent.
does it come with a dingo?
It does. It
And
does
how's
come
your
with
dingo?
my dingo ate my baby
Mm.
Ah, your dingo shouldn't have eaten your baby. That's no good.
because he thought
Speaking
it
of
was a
speaking
Bordeaux.
of dingoes, this is our
Oh,
buddy who gave 6 more weeks of winter. So a hail and F you. There you go.
hail
Yeah.
and farewell.
Hail and hearty. Meh. Although Cluxatawny Henrietta said early spring. The chicken. She laid an egg, and that was
She
it.
did.
And
If
that
she
that
lays an egg, if she lays an egg, it's early spring. If she doesn't lay an egg, it's 6 more weeks of winter.
and could you imagine that one egg now is about 250?
Oh, they're charging a surcharge in Waffle House if you get eggs, 50 cents an egg.
I know. Well, I don't go to
Really?
Waffle House anymore. So I have never been there ever.
They're gonna increase prices for it. You won't have to. They don't have to put surcharge because they're gonna just up it.
They
So,
should. They should have
yeah.
done that and not put the surcharge because that
Well,
was
well, the
really
question is,
stinky.
is the bird flu gonna be a pandemic? Because at this point, it could be.
Well, all I know is I was promised the first day he gets into presidency, I know I shouldn't talk politics, and I'm not really, he was going to lower prices of everything, including eggs.
You know, let's see. Let's not tax the billionaires so we can not fund cancer and medical research. Hmm.
Okay, the difference between a Bordeaux and a Burgundy.
Burgundy.
A Bordeaux is prominently oceanic or Atlantic climate, which produces wine with good acidity, color, body, and structure. Burgundy is characterized by its continental climate, which helps to maintain the acidity and more supple aromas of the grape. So the Bordeaux is a little heavier wine, and a Burgundy is not. Like Burgundy has the Nouveau
Yep.
wines every year.
Then I'm
Mm,
thinking
Oh, Beaujolais, Nouveau
Beaujolais.
Beaujolais, and
Right.
people love it. They go out and buy it in the beginning of the
oh, the
year.
Beaujolais, that's the first that they
Yeah.
always sold it the
It-
Do you like
first
Beaujolais?
crop.
I
no,
never
I never
really
did.
liked it. I don't like
I
it
never.
either.
It's too light for me. It has no
It's a
flavor for me.
this well,
Some
I
people love
found
it.
I found it was very flavorful, if I
I
remember.
like Pinot Noir.
Pinot
I
Noir.
like
Pinot
what you
Noir is
guys got me. Those bottles, that case. I
yes.
got it. It was really good.
Well,
It's
It's
if
like
I,
one
the
of the best wines I've
when I
tasted.
would do my wine tasting with my friend who had all these bottles of wine, after the first after the first glass, they all tasted the same to me.
No, no, and certain things go very well with food. You know, I can't drink certain wines unless I have food with it because it complements the food and the wine.
I can't
I
eat
can't
certain.
just drink. I cannot drink just wine. Pizza, I'll have a beer or grape soda. That's
Yeah.
my one, grape soda.
Well,
Well, with me, my corned beef or pastrami is celery soda.
yeah, I
Mine
love
is
celery
grass,
too.
black cherry,
Got to go to Katz's and get black cherry or
No,
celery.
no,
I like both.
celery.
And
cream,
that's also
celery.
cream. Cream is
Cream
also.
is I love cream soda.
Mm-mm.
We
Cream,
got to go. We got to go to Katz's,
let's
and we got to
go.
go to Chinatown too.
Let's go.
We got to do our like a monthly lunch. Um,
Well, you
Let's
should have
go.
gone last week. It was Chinese New Year's.
It's
I
through
know.
the India now. You don't want to go to Chinatown during Chinese New
No,
Year.
you know, there's
Well,
a lot
yeah.
of fireworks and
Look,
other things.
No, it's
yeah.
fun because I remember going, in
We
my
used to go
youth.
as a kid.
No, in my youth, you go to the Chinatown during the Chinese New Year's. You see the dragons come in. They'll
Yeah,
come.
we've done that.
I used to, well,
Father's
because
taken us.
I went down to court a lot, and the
Yeah.
Chinatown is right around the corner, and we would sometimes go, and try to take a peek, and
Woha.
a lot of yeah, 69 Bayard, Woe Hops, 66
79,
Bayard,
73 Bayard.
right? We
Yeah, we
got to
used to
go
go.
to
I forget the names. I
Inn
used to go.
Garden.
we got to go to to go to a dumpling place. Just there's a
Yes.
place that's all just literally dumplings mostly,
I love
and it's
my
like three
dumpling.
stories, and they go around with the carts,
Well,
and you
that's
take it
a
out.
dim
We got to
sum.
go there.
Dim
Dim
sum.
sum.
Oh, we used to go
Dim
to dim
sum.
sum. We used to
Yeah.
love dim sum. The Silver Palace.
But what's the other
Where's
place?
that?
There's one on East Broadway. I forgot the
Oh,
name.
that one is in the shopping mall. You go up the escalator. It's very
But
famous. I can't
but it's
remember.
like three stories. It's like you
Stories.
could.
Yeah, that's a shopping mall, Chinese shopping mall. And inside that place is two floors. And there's another one I went to with my cousin Ugly, Marcy, and Ivy. Were you with us? No, you weren't there. We
I was
went to
somewhere in another dimension. Yeah.
Well,
we went to this place. That was very good.
yeah, I remember one time. I think it was my brother's graduation from law school. We took my mom out to a Chinese food in Chinatown. First time she's ever been there,
Mhm.
and she orders chicken chow mein.
Do you
Charmaine.
say it just like we do in Brooklyn?
Yeah,
If ladies
Charmaine.
and
chow mein.
gentlemen, just in
He's
case you don't know, it's
Brooklyn.
just in case you don't know, it's chicken chow mein. But we from Brooklyn, all three of
Charmaine.
us, chicken chow mein.
Charmaine.
Char. Charmaine.
The sharp
Yep.
mein.
And it's
I
And
wrong.
love doing that.
of course it's wrong. But my mother says, the waiter says, "I'm sorry, that's a Chinese American dish. It's an American dish. It's not Chinese."
Chinese, yeah.
And my mother turns around. She said, "Are you sure this is a Chinese restaurant?"
Yes, we're sure. It is a Chinese restaurant.
But
I like
Yeah.
Szechuan.
oh yeah,
I like
I
I
started
like
when I got older. I started when liked hot foods. I like
mhm.
Szechuan and Hunan.
I love Hunan, but they're not
Szechuan
that
is
spicy,
spicier than Hunan.
spicier.
Yeah.
Hunan's a
Spicy.
little
I
Hunan's a
love the
little
spicy food.
Yeah, I like it spicy too.
I like it spicy, but my acid reflux does not
Oh,
like it
I
spicy.
and
have
I remember out here in Los Angeles, I had a lot of Chinese clients in the radio,
Mm-hmm.
and I would take them out to Chinese, not sort of Korean restaurants.
Uh-huh.
I had a lot of Korean clients, and I noticed uh, I ordered the same things that my Korean clients did, and I said, "This is not hot at all." And they said, "What do you mean it's not hot?" You know, this is some of the hottest food you can eat. And then I spoke to them. I said, "No, here, taste some of this." And they say, "That's not what we're eating." I said, "But I ordered the same thing." It
For you
turns
gringo,
out
you get something different.
I get
Round
what Randais get
Right.
because most Randais don't like the spicy foods, the really hot foods, and I did.
Well, if you can't take the really hot food if you haven't had it before. Like
No.
there was a place in the valley that Mitch used to take us to, and you had as customers would go, they had your name, and they would
Mm-hmm.
click off, levels. And the first time you're at one, you can go. The second, but you cannot ask for level five if you're
Mhm.
level two. It's just not going to happen because you'll blow your mouth out. It's like the hot chicken in Nashville. And my
Yes.
cousin was he was an ER doctor in Vanderbilt, and he said one of the biggest things was the Vanderbilt students and other college students would go to the hot chicken place and order the hottest thing they can order, and then they'd wind up in the ER. I mean,
I went to an Indian restaurant. They opened up in Newton near me. It's about a half hour from my house. Excellent food. It's called masala.
yeah, we have
Indian
a
masala.
masala here too.
Indian masala, and the food is excellent. 99% of everything. So we went with another couple, and he orders chicken vindaloo. And they go,
Vindaloo's
how would you
hotter.
like it?
Mm.
And he goes, oh, I like it hot.
Oh, Vindaloo could be really hot.
Really?
So they looked at him, are you sure? He goes, oh, yeah, I've had it before hot. I want it hot. So his wife, myself, and Dennis order just normal, not too
Right.
hot, just normal stuff. I had shrimp masala. And I keep my levels low, and so does Dennis. He's eating it, and you can see him turning beet red. We're
He's
going, are you
probably
okay?
sweating.
And
He's
he,
going, I'm fine. This
and he
is
wouldn't admit
good.
to it.
He's going, no, he wouldn't admit. His wife goes, stop eating it. He goes, no, I asked for it hot. And they're looking at him, the people at the
You
restaurant,
could get
and they're
sick, man.
giggling. They're giggling.
And
He
then
said, no, he wanted it hot.
Did they
and then
bring
they have
milk? Did
the
they bring
ambulance
anything
waiting
out?
outside.
They gave him a lot of bread, and he was eating bread, and he goes, he hit down the table. I'm done. Please. Do you go, would you like to take the rest home? He goes, no, thank you.
No, well,
And we,
it would get even hotter if
Hotter.
he brought it back.
yeah,
You know,
Oh
we
my God,
it
this place is great though. Oh my God, it's a tiny little
I like
restaurant.
I had an old time friend that owned a an Indian restaurant in Beverly Hills,
Mm,
and
oh,
when I'd go there, they prepared the food especially for me. They knew how hot I like, hot or not hot
mm.
I liked it, and I always, the waiter would come, okay, how do you want it today? So I had to be in the mood, for the really hot.
right.
I like hot food, but I can't eat it anymore. I
Well,
haven't had it
well, I
in
don't know. I
years.
haven't been there in a while, so I don't know. I might die from it. But
Maxine and I used to eat poppers with stuffed cheese, jalapenos at
Right.
Rodeo.
Jalapeno poppers, right.
Poppers, and those were so good. And I used to eat
Yeah.
a lot of the word hot, but not to die for. Now, if I eat one of those, I'd probably end up in the hospital for acid reflux problems.
but
I
guys,
can't do
Really?
it.
I hate to tell you this. Our time is up.
No.
Well, wait, hold it. Aren't we
Oh,
talking about
no.
cartoons?
Yes,
No.
we're talking
This
about
is
cartoons.
this is the booze show.
Yeah,
This is
But
this is the booze.
I hate to tell you that this right now. This is like 1 o'clock on in LA time. I hate to tell you I'm having for lunch
What are you having for
What?
lunch?
bagels and lox.
Oh,
Mm.
sounds
And,
good.
And know what I'm making for dinner? I'm making an udon noodle dish
udon.
with,
Ooh.
I have
yeah, with
udon
pork.
noodles.
I'm making an
I'm gonna
udon
make
dish
that with tofu. I have some good tofu I made
is
Anyway,
yesterday.
with
guys,
pork
time is up. I have
and
to go. I have
radishes.
to go to eat. I will
You
see
have to
you
go to
next week,
eat.
Shalom,
and maybe
bitches.
we'll talk
Yep.
about the
Uh,
cartoons, or maybe we'll talk about
or
the
maybe anything else. I thought
Pinky,
this was a lot of
pinky,
fun. I
and
like
the
this.
my guilty pleasure is apples.
My
apples.
guilty pleasure is pasta. And I didn't eat that when I was pregnant. You freaked out. Goodbye.
I
Bye.
can't eat
See,
pasta
see you
anymore. I'm
next
not allowed.
week.
All
Be
right.
good.
Ciao.
Bye.
Me,
May the force be with you.
shalom.